is off for Brazil. Another one of their newer players, in fact, making a debut in his first call. Lucas Paquetá. Rodolfo Landeros, who's down there on the Brazil bench. Rodolfo, what can you tell us about this change here for Brazil?
Yeah, he's making Lucas Paquetá his international debut with the Brazilian team. He was called up after Renato Augusto was injured. And Adenor Bacci, popularly known as Tichi, he addressed the player. You have to keep your style, attacking midfielder, drop balls on top, but when the time comes, drop a little bit backwards to help Artur.
Paquetá plays for Flamengo. If you remember the game, Ezequiel Marcos signed by Atlanta, biggest transfer in MLS history, scored the goal at the Maracana in the Copa Sudamericana final. Lucas Paquetá just came on, was the other player who scored in that game against Marcos Independiente. A long run to try to get on the end of that by Firmino. Steffen's header, bouncing away from William. Thought he had an empty net to shoot out from midfield. Weston McKennie picks it up. Here's Tim Weah. Fabinho, the defender. Will Trapp. We've seen him score from here for Columbus. That one's on the deck, but it forces the first save of the night out of Alisson in the U.S. corner.
Choked with Will Trapp about that yesterday, about what he does well on the field. I said every now and again you've got a screamer in you. Scoring one for the Columbus Crew earlier this season. This one is hit on the ground. It comes through traffic. And this is Alisson's viewpoint. Gets down, and he has that one covered. Good save.
Yesterday, I wish I knew what my future was. Both opportunities in Europe as well as the reality of the situation with the Crew. In swinger by Trapp off the corner. Alisson the punch. Artur there to pick it up.
Oh, look out, Willian at that top on the far side.
Long run back for Kellen Acosta. Ball comes to Neymar instead. Now Neymar rolled in. Firmino onside. Paquetá running with him. How about Anthony Robinson? It's going to be a corner, but able to break that up.
Yeah, good work there by Robinson, because Neymar has had this pass a couple times tonight. In transition, Brazil breaking away, a little outside of the foot, finding Firmino.
Second corner for Brazil tonight. Somewhere down there when trying to take photographs. Sent in by Neymar, and it's just going to be wide. Thiago Silva flashing through.
And this is that counter-attack, and just thought for a second Felipe Luis was going to hit this crossfield pass up to the top to see Willian. Really good job there by Kellen Acosta to track that run, and this is the outside of the boot. Round to Firmino. He takes a poor first touch, but good recognition by Anthony Robinson to get back and to put that one out for a corner.
Just a long run to get there, and Artur beat him to it. Just over there in front of Zardes. The Brazilian has made his way over. Richarlison looks like getting set to come on. What will be his debut. Over Gabriel Jesus. An injury opened up a spot. He starts in life with Everton. 3 goals in his first 3. The 3-game suspension now for a red card. Here's Anthony Robinson. Pipeline for Brazil continues. Kellen Acosta will keep it on Lucas Paquetá. Firmino stepping in. It's going to be a free kick for the U.S. Might be Firmino's last action because they put his number up on the board. Firmino opened up the scoring in the 11th minute. His 8th international goal. A career year for Liverpool. Neymar's penalty was the other right at the end of the first half. Richarlison, the 21-year-old. Now to make his Brazilian debut. Acosta, who won this foul, is standing over it. You get another big target in there with Chelsea Zardes on the field. Acosta delivered a great ball earlier. Another good ball in. Couple different players in there. And McKennie had the touch, but Alisson, comfortable stop.
I thought there was about 4 players offside there, but let's see. Yeah, 4 players, but the flag didn't come up, John. It wasn't going to come up.
quarter hour here at MetLife Stadium. It's beginning what they call this kickoff series. They've got Colombia and Tampa, Peru, and East Hartford, Connecticut announced earlier today, coming up in October. Matches in Europe against England and Italy in November. The Gold Cup next summer here on FS1. Brooks let that go, and Stephan able to grab it. We'll start things off on the right foot. Stewart, general manager of the U.S. men's national team, watching in the stands, and whoever that next coach is going to be, odds are good. He or she is not watching it live. They will be back on tape. Greg Berhalter's name has been thrown around a lot this week in the media, even though Ernie Stewart has been very honest in saying, I've not done one interview. But it was interesting. 3 Columbus Crew players, Stephan, Zardes, and Trapp, each with a different amount of time with Berhalter, and each with really glowing reviews. And we asked about it yesterday, about his man management, his tactics, the way he builds the team, the way they've continued to have success, even as this ongoing saga of their potential relocation to Austin continues on the outside. Sort of curious your thoughts, Stu, on who stands out for you, who you would like to see in charge of this U.S. team going forward.
I also think Ernie Stewart saying he hasn't interviewed any candidates to this point is a little bit of a deflection, because he did make a comment earlier as part of the round table with a number of the media saying, when it gets to the interview process, I plan on interviewing 1 or 2, not 9 or 10 different candidates. So they built a profile. They're narrowing that down of what they want. And look, I think Greg Berhalter ticks a number of those boxes. A guy that played in a World Cup for the United States, a guy that has done very well in his coaching career, albeit a younger coaching career at some time in Europe, now back with the Columbus Crew, a job he's done very well there. I don't know if Dave Sarachan is the mix. He certainly doesn't seem to feel or convey that to us. A name that was actually thrown to me the other day, Peter Bosch, I thought was a very interesting potential Canada player that's worked with a number of young players at Ajax, and his name has not been rumored. He was just suggested that he might be a good candidate. Ernie Stewart does have Dutch connections. I think a coach that was at Borussia Dortmund. I'm sure Christian Pulisic might have mixed feelings on that one.
What about you? Does it need to be a younger coach? Does it need to be an American?
It doesn't need to be an American, no. I think American coaches, we have some really good young coaches in Major League Soccer right now. I would consider Bob Bradley for the position as well, as a guy that has experience and has had success. The U.S. men's national team has done a great job in working with younger players at LAFC. And I think all these names are certainly in the mix, and I would be looking at all of them, evaluating them, if I'm Ernie Stewart, up against that profile that I have, the principles of play that he called it, the culture, the mentality, the winningness, working with young players, all that needs to be factored in. And look, I think Greg Berhalter, if that was the candidate, would be an excellent choice. So it remains to be seen. I hope that it's sorted out sooner than later, because I would have loved the new coach to have had the opportunity to have the team in some of these games. But I respect the process.
Neymar dancing around Weston McKennie, gets it away, but Brooks intercepts. And Neymar will be amongst the players coming off in a moment. 2 Brazilian-based players getting set to come on, Everton and today. Thiago Silva and Neymar making way. Substitutions 5 and 6 for Brazil this evening. The U.S. has made 3. They could make 3 more if they want to. Here's Neymar. Last chance for him. Running at Yedlin. He's able to slow him up. And then a foul at the end of all that. And exchanging a little word there with Matt Miazga. Thiago Silva off for Dede, 30-year-old who plays for Cruzeiro, who was really at one time one of the most promising prospects in Brazilian soccer, a 4-time best 11 player in the Brazilian league. In 3 years of knee injuries, returned last year as a regular, and this will be his first appearance for Brazil since October of 2013. Almost 5 years of injury nightmare for this player. And he returns from now, and you saw the hug from Thiago Silva as he comes on. Neymar the other. Everton plays for Grêmio. For the Libertadores last year. He's had a good start to this season. 12 goals in all competitions in the Brazilian League, which, like MLS, runs across the calendar year. Christian Roldan and Marky Delgado, who was only called in Monday morning to this U.S. camp, will be coming on as well for the U.S. No pressure for Christian Roldan wearing the number 10 shirt. With 10 minutes to go. Pass for Richarlison. We saw Miazga a moment ago sort of standing up for himself with Neymar. What have you thought of his night tonight? Because if we assume that Brooks is sort of the incumbent in there, the spot next to him is open. How's Miazga done?
I'd say he stood up for himself all game long, and one of those players, and actually even going to our pre-match interview with Ernie Stewart of what the American player is, it's going to stand up in your face. I certainly think Matt Miazga has been one of those guys in this game tonight. And just a recognition, an understanding of the game. Physically, he's got the attributes. He's come across. He's made tackles. He had the goal line clearance. So, if we're evaluating performances tonight, the guys that perform well, I would say Matt Miazga is right at the top of the list.
It'll be Weston McKennie and Will Trapp will be coming off for the next opportunity for Seattle's Christian Roldan and Toronto's Marky Delgado. Pair of youngsters who have gone sort of untraditional paths to get where they are. Roldan, someone who 2 years ago was sort of pushing off interest from Guatemala and El Salvador, where his parents are from, holding out hope that the call might come from the U.S., and he finally got in with them last year at the Gold Cup. And Marky Delgado, a player who was a Chivas USA homegrown player, and when they folded, it was not just that there were 6 players taken, 7 others were passed on. Flags up for offside. As Richarlison misses, and Delgado sort of fell in the lap of Toronto FC, and it being a part of the best season in MLS history last year.
Let's see if he's offside as this ball comes in between. Anthony Robinson just gets caught a little bit too far, disconnected from John Brooks, and the offside flag goes up on Richarlison as he pulled it wide.
So Trapp and McKennie coming off. How do you think of their nights tonight?
I think Will Trapp was unfortunate to have conceded the penalty on Fabinho, where he dived and won that one for Brazil's second goal. But I thought it was a solid night for Will Trapp. He connected passes well. He was always an option in the middle of the field. He was always willing to take the ball in. He made some timely challenges. He made some key passes forward at times. Good distribution for Weston McKennie. Similar. End product wasn't good enough. He had a couple good chances. One with a header in the first half. Another one in the second half where he tried to redirect it on target with the left foot from the set piece.
It's going to be a whistle there for dangerous play on Christian Roldan. It is John Brooks, you can see on his left arm, wearing the captain's armband now that Trapp is off. Rising up over Richarlison to win the header. Roldan battling in there, caught Felipe Luis in the face, able to find Kellen Acosta, though how much he could do with that ball. Play stopped here. Fernando Guerrero, the referee, just to make sure Felipe Luis is okay. A little bit this idea of some of the familiar names sprinkled back in. Michael Bradley, Josie Altidore, among others. You and Alexi Lawless have had some passionate conversations about that last couple of days. What do you think?
Look, I still think Jozy Altidore is by far and away the best number 9 that we have in this pool. We being the United States men's national team. I think Josh Sargent has a ways to go to get games. Bobby Wood is not scoring goals regularly at the club level. Gyasi Zardes has scored goals this season, but I still don't think as a number 9 he's anywhere close to Jozy Altidore when Jozy Altidore is at his best. I still think, well, Christian Pulisic is a glaring miss tonight, a guy that can give you some creativity in that final third. I think Michael Bradley still has a part to play in terms of his experience, especially through qualifying. Knowing what it takes sometimes to go down to some of these countries, Costa Rica, Panama, in some of these tough World Cup qualifying games. And then I still think Brad Guzan is probably the number 1 right now for this U.S. men's national team. And I'd love to see a fight between him and Zach Steffen for that shirt, because Zach Steffen's done a really good job in there. The way he's developed as a goalkeeper, he's been given a great opportunity. You put Brad Guzan back in there, and he's going to have to fight for it even more. I think certainly long-term, Zach Steffen is going to be the number 1 for this team. But those are 3 players that right now jump out to me that can still help this team in a lot of ways, both on and off the field. And I know Alexi, I'm looking at him down on the set right now. He's giggling, he's waving at me, because him and I were very heated in this discussion last night, because he says out with the bathwater, and I love, because I have an opportunity to give my point of view right now, and he's standing there with no microphone. But look, it is an evolution, and Dave Sarachan and the next coach and Ernie Stewart have to decide when and if that time is going to be right to bring in some of these veterans that can help bring these younger players along. And that's all part of the process. And I think it's been a tremendous learning experience for this group over the last year.
A group that 2-0 down tonight have created a couple of chances, mostly on set pieces. There's 2 saves out of Alisson, the Brazil goalkeeper. 2 goals conceded, one where Anthony Robinson certainly was burned, and the other just an unfortunate penalty to give up. Adams clipping into space. Delgado will return it. Adams trying to run away from Artur now. He's got support on the left from Robinson, who will send this ball in, looking for Zardes. It's going to fall for Christian Roldan. Back in front, stabbed away. The day. And a great little move by Everton, and then swept out his feet from under him.
Well, it's a good little move, driving run from Tyler Adams again. Something he's done well tonight when he's had the ball, committing defenders towards that good ball in. Well, Gyasi Zardes and Tim Weah going up to try and get it. Looks like Weah might have just got the slightest of touch to take that away from Zardes.
Goals this year, as many as the last 3 years combined. One off his career high. A player this time last year had just scored his first goal all year, was about to have a little spell at right back for the LA Galaxy. You would never see without a smile on his face anyway, but did seem to really just be in a very happy spot right now with how things have gone with the crew. Felipe Luis able to keep it in traffic. Samiro. He's just got a piece of him from behind, but he's able to find Lucas Paquetá. Open it up. Paquetá for Everton. Yedlin, the defender. Roldan trying to support him. Seattle Sounders defensively coming together, and Yedlin able to sweep it away. Back in for Everton, who makes the body block there. Adams for Roldan. Look like his options there. Just plays into space. Maybe 3 minutes of stoppage time. I mentioned Tyler Adams a moment ago. Still 19 years of age. star player that he's become for the New York Red Bulls. Dave Sarakin praising him yesterday, said his soccer has really come along. His ability to play quickly in tight spaces has really improved over the last year or so with the New York Red Bulls.
Well, and all indication and rumors are that he's going to be moving to RB Leipzig in the German Bundesliga in January. And if he finishes the season strong with the New York Red Bulls, who are currently leading the Supporter Shield race in MLS, top of the East, big part of that team, being led by Chris Armas now, and sounds like he's joining his former coach Jesse March at RB Leipzig, will continue to develop as a player, and I think that's a really important next step for him.
And that was Adams right there, tracking back to intercept the pass meant for Richarlison, about an hour north of here.
I like him. He's got a bit of bite to him, and for a younger guy, doesn't back down from anything. He's got a tremendous engine. People hear people talk about that a lot. 7 assists this year in 23 Major League Soccer matches. Here's another one that is going to be a part of this core.
Willian hasn't done much since coming on as a sub, playing a short corner. 1 minute gone of the 3. A fairly quiet night overall. 2 goals from Brazil. A limited amount of fireworks. It's Fabinho now. Playing back in. Bertone is on the right side, cutting back on Marky Delgado. Dancing him back again, now clipping it in. Brooks there with the header. Second chance at it now. Wilson stepping in to force him back. Fabinho crossing in, stooping low to get a touch on that. Miazga heading away. That's why Lionel Messi compared Artur to Xavi, just his ability to keep the ball in those tight little spaces. Good touch by Paquetá to find Willian. A few things that's gone wrong for Brazil tonight as Fabinho lets that skip under his feet. Said the scene will shift now to Nashville, Tennessee. Tuesday night against Mexico, always an occasion. Mexico in an interim period as well after Juan Carlos Osorio left following the World Cup. Willian trying to get around. Yellow steps in with some good strength there. The Premier League players going at it. It's in behind for a goal kick. Colombia next up in October here on FS1. Down in Tampa, Florida. It is not the final whistle. Fans think it is, just a free kick. Still 30 seconds left. Looking at a handful of fans sort of turning around surprised. The game is continuing.
Bonus ball.
Anthony Robinson, final seconds here. Trying to get around Fabinho. Casemiro steps in. And referee Fernando Guerrero is going to grab the ball himself and blow for full time. A 2-0 win for Brazil tonight. What do you think of this one?
I think we've learned a little bit about this U.S. men's national team as far as some of the players that had good performances tonight. Matt Miazga is one that definitely stands out to me. I think we expected this result, this Brazilian team, with the experience they have coming off the World Cup. Bit of a point to prove. Neymar showing his quality. So on to Mexico.
Let's see what Dave Sarakin thinks. He's live down on the field with Alex.
Dave, what do you think of the team's overall play over 90 minutes?
Well, listen, we played one of the best teams in the world, and I think that we were a little nervy. We probably should have done a little better with the ball and had a little patience, but that's why you play these games. You know, the experience of this game, I think, is going to go a long way with this young group.
Anyone in particular that stood out to you tonight?
Well, you know, it's hard to single one person out. I think the effort was good. Anthony Robinson at the beginning was nervous, but I thought overall defensively he was pretty solid. But, you know, it wasn't an easy night when you play a team like Brazil, but I thought the effort was there, and the quality just needs to be a little bit better.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Well, coming up next here on FS1, Mike Hill, Frank Thomas, and Nick Swisher with MLB Whip Around. For Stu Holden, for Alex Curry, for Rodolfo Landeros, for Ian Joy, and for Alexi Lawless, I'm John Strong saying good night from New Jersey, where it finishes Brazil 2, the United States men 0.